Hi guys, so in this presentation, I am actually asked to choose two journal articles on the topic survivability of hospitality business. Then I'm supposed to do an academic critique where I'm supposed to add a brief summary for each of the two journal articles that I have selected and also explain some of the major strengths and weaknesses of these journal articles as well. Okay, so this is mainly the agenda of this presentation. Okay, so the first journal article that I have selected is Hospitality and Tourism Industry amid COVID-19 pandemic perspectives on challenges and learnings from India by Vikrant Kaushal. Okay, so coronavirus basically came out of nowhere, right? Like none of us expected coronavirus to come, but when it came, it made things which we are used to, like traveling, etc., a luxury. Okay, like suddenly it changed everything that we know about. So in this research paper, mainly two things are focused. Okay, and these two things are one major challenges the hospitality industry is facing. Okay, and the second thing is like when we look at the Indian hospitality industry, what are some of the learnings we can see during this crisis? Okay, then this is how this research paper was happened. Okay, so basically 15 people were selected, and these 15 people are either working as a hotel manager or are teaching students in the hospitality industry. Okay, so maybe they are teachers for hospitality industry courses, etc. So 15 such people were selected, and they were asked particular questions. Okay, and their answers were collected in a table using voting system. Okay, now I'm going to explain some of the strengths of this journal article. So in the interview parts, the questions that were asked was specific and to the point. So what I mean is like some people will waste the time asking this and that questions, but in this particular interview the questions that were asked were to the point. And because of this, the research that they got from this research paper was also high quality. Then the second thing is like there were large sums of information that was retrieved during this research paper, and all of those information was easily and quickly shared using tables. So because of the use of tables and a particular voting system, the information was easily learnable. Okay, so basically, when somebody sees the table, they will be able to quickly understand the topic. Now I will talk about some of the weaknesses of this research paper. So the first one that I would like to explain is like only 15 people were interviewed. So basically in this industry there are millions of people and a lot more. So because of this, like when only 15 people are interviewed, the results may not be as accurate as possible because different people have different attitudes, different thoughts, different beliefs, etc. Okay, so the issue is that different people have different views, different thoughts, different beliefs, etc. So when there are millions of people and only 15 people are interviewed, the results will not be super accurate, but it's better than nothing. Then the second thing is like another weakness of the journal article is that the interviewers all were from one country. So the culture, beliefs, situation, scenario, etc. is different from country to country. So this is like a global issue, and input from just one country people cannot be worldwide accepted or usable. So these were some of the weaknesses of this research paper. Then the second journal article that I have selected is Going Beyond the Curve, Strategic Measures to Recover Hotel Activity in Times of COVID-19 by Aurora Garrido Morenoa. Okay. So in this journal article, the main topic is that how COVID-19 pandemic have changed everything, and how it have deeply affected the hospitality industry businesses. So here's the thing, like hospitality industry businesses depend on people who are traveling, right? So when COVID came, like there were MCOs, so people are not allowed to freely travel district to district, state to state, etc. And also the international borders were closed. So the hospitality industry lost a steady stream of tourists. Okay, so basically in this journal article, how COVID-19 pandemic have changed everything and how it have deeply affected the hospitality industry businesses. This is what is mainly talked. Okay. Then for this research, 237 Spanish hotel managers were asked to rank and evaluate the various disaster management and other strategies to tackle the current COVID-19 pandemic. Okay, and how they will help their hotels survive and thrive this catastrophe. So basically, what this means is like in this research, 237 Spanish hotel managers were interviewed. Okay, and they were asked to rank and evaluate the various disaster management and other strategies that are mentioned in various other research papers regarding this topic. Okay, so they compiled a list of research papers which gave different strategies to handle situations like this. And then they asked the 237 Spanish hotel managers to say which are some of the strategies that they will use in their hotel. Then, based on this evidence, measures were statistically examined to identify which ranked as most significant in helping hospitality managers. Okay, now I'm going to talk about some of the strengths and some of the strengths of this journal article. Okay, a lot of major research papers were used to come up with questions, and this provides a very high quality research. Then the second thing is like the people who were interviewed, they were like highly targeted people. That is, people who are in the best position to give valuable inputs. They were like hotel managers of existing and running hotels which are facing the current challenges. So when they are asked to vote the best strategies, obviously it will be they are like the right people, right? Okay, then high quality references were used to do the entire research paper as well as the journal article also. Now let me talk about some of the weaknesses. Wait one second. I guess. Okay. Now I'm going to talk about some of the weaknesses of this journal article. Okay. The conclusion of this journal article is not very good. Considering this research paper was so good and helpful, the authors could have made a longer conclusion with a summary of their findings, but the conclusion was not as good as it could have been. Okay. Then the second one is like in a global issue, just 237 people's opinion is not enough to make the research paper globally acceptable because different people are different type with different beliefs, culture, exposure, etc. So one of the major weakness of this journal article is that not enough people's opinions were taken. Okay. Now for conclusion, I would just like to say like in this assignment, I was asked to find two journal articles about the topic survivability of hospitality business and then do an academic critique where I have to give a brief summary of each journal article and also explain some of the major strengths and weaknesses of these two journal articles. Then some of the strengths of both the journal articles were effective and high quality references were used. Then they took the opinion of the most targeted and relevant people in the industry and they asked the best questions which are specific to the topic. Okay, then continuing. But the weaknesses is that for both articles, only few people were interviewed, and for a global issue, just few people whose opinions are not enough to get a globally accepted and helpful input. Also, in both the research papers, only people from one country was interviewed, And since different places are different, the input cannot be globally accepted. So these are some of the strengths and weaknesses of these two journal articles. So, sir, thank you for your time. And now I will end my presentation.